Hello, I want to show you today all the things that I've accumulated for amigurumi. Now when I started off with crochet, these were the three things that I had, and that was great. But I want to show you how easily these three items became a huge collection that I've acquired to make all the things that I make. And I want to see, is this what everybody ends up doing, or I just went overboard? So let's get started and I'll show you all the things that I use. These are some of the hooks that I use, and it started off with just your regular standard aluminum hook, but then I started realizing that those were hard on my hands, so I went ahead and took my hooks and started adding polymer clay to them and putting little characters on top. And that made them easier, and I thought they were cute, but a lot of times this would happen. Something I had put on top got knocked off. So I realized I like it, but they're more decorative. And that's when I went to start using my favorite hooks, which are these clover hooks. And I've been able to stick with these and they've done a great job. Scissors. You just never have enough. And this isn't even a total collection of how many I have. I can't even imagine how many are around the house that the kids have wandered off with. And so scissors, just something you never have enough of. So here are a bunch of my yarn needles, and I would be able to show you more if I hadn't lost so many of these in couch cushions. And one thing that I'm really appreciative of is that yarn needles are blunt, because I have lost so many of these, and I can only imagine how many times I would have poked myself, sitting down and realizing one had slipped between the cushions. So here's a few more things I use. And of course pins are pretty normal, but one thing I did was I got pins that are blunt at the end, because what I was doing was I was sticking them into my amigurumis, and then when I would squeeze to do sewing, I was poking myself. So one nice thing is I got all of these pins, and you can just, put your finger right up to them and they're not going to poke you. They do a good job holding things in place, but they don't give you any sharp pokes when you're trying to sew on pieces. So that's one really nice thing to have. And then I do have a thread cutter, so even though it's yarn, I still use this to, if I messed up on something sewing on, I can go ahead and just cut the yarn and make it easier to take the little arm or leg or ear off. And then just anything I can get for a stitch marker. Bobby pins, they work great, and if you lose them, they're easy to replace. You can get 100 of them for really cheap. Another thing I can't believe I collected so much of is all the different types of glue that I have. And here's some of what I use. Glue guns with a variety of different glue sticks. I've got the little finger protectors for using the glue gun. I've got just a variety. I've got like E6000 and how many toothpicks I've got in order to apply the E6000 without getting it all over myself. Yeah, glue, something I never really thought too much of and now have too much of. This is part of the Safety Eye collection that I've got going, and I blame Amazon for making it way too easy to order these things and have them here within 2 days. Another two must-haves have got to be my felt and Polyfill, and especially the Polyfill. I cannot believe how much of this I go through. So here's some kind of obscure items that I have. This is for whenever I get a needle that I'm weaving throughout the body or the head. I'm trying to get into parts and I cannot get the needle through. I'll just clamp this onto the needle and use this to help yank the needle through the project, and it works really good. Weird, but works really good. One of the other things I have, and this is actually a seafood tool. Now I don't really use much with the pointy end, but this end is great for pushing and stuffing. I've got a whole bunch of these because I was getting them like, a 5-pack of them at the Dollar Tree. And I got these and they are great to get the stuffing into places, especially small parts. And then another good thing is you can kind of poke them through stitches if you need to widen a little section to get a safety eye in. So I use this thing way more than I ever could have imagined. And all it is a little seafood tool. I've got a chip clip because some of my books don't lay flat, and I'll just clip the little pages open, so that way it's just easier to see the patterns. And then just another thing I have are pom-pom makers. Some more items that I use quite a bit. I got notebooks. I get tons of these from the Dollar Tree because I just go through them so much, writing patterns down. And then a ruler, just handy to have, and thread for adding things on, like little beads or little accessories. And I have a bunch of colors, but yeah, these are things that I just use quite a bit. So here's my embroidery thread, and I have a lot of it. And so I need to tell myself I don't need to pick up another color. I'm sure I've already got it. I know I'll still do it, but I should still keep telling myself you don't need any more. This is another thing that's quickly adding to my collection of amigurumi must-have is books. I absolutely love the patterns that I find in these books, and once I see it, I want it. One of the things is like this princess book. This is why I have that chip clip. This is one that just won't stay open on its own. So if you have like a chip clip, it really holds these little books open really well. Amigurumi kits are one of those things that if I see one, I just can't walk by without picking it up. And I've opened up a few on this channel already, and including this one, I have 17 more that I'm going to be unboxing. And I look forward to showing everybody what's in these. They are one of the things that I absolutely love these, and they're so much fun to do. Here's some makeup I picked up from the Dollar Tree, along with a couple brushes. Every now and then I like to put a little blush onto the cheeks of my little dolls or animals, and if I don't want to just use yarn to add it in, a lot of times I'll just take some of this really cute cheap Dollar Tree makeup and just add it on using this. For some of my smaller projects, I like to turn them into keychains. So I've got a whole bunch of these little charm holders and little key rings. That way any of my smaller ones can easily be put onto backpacks or purses. This is just a few of what I have, but you're able to get tons of these for cheap on Amazon. I've managed to get a really big collection of different little sparkles to add on to some of my amigurumis, just to give them just a little bit extra pop. And I've got quite a few different varieties of beads that I use. And another little thing is that I've got a ton of these little hearts, little sparkle hearts. And I kind of do that Build-A-Bear thing where you put a little heart inside the things that you create. And I do a lot of that with different dolls and stuffed animals I make. So the last things I like to use that I add to my little amigurumis are, if you've ever seen mini brands, I like to take the little things out of mini brands and then give like a little doll or a stuffed animal candy or a little toy, because these are such a great size for adding to your amigurumis. And then they also have things like cold stone drinks that are fun for them to hold. And then I do make things out of resin, so here's like a little teddy bear I made out of resin, and just some more little toys. And these are a really great addition to adding to your amigurumi, just to give them a little more personality. So here at the end, I just wanted to show you a couple ways I apply some of the things that I showed you today. So for this little spaceship, this is where I've added on some of the little beads and sparkles and things going around, just to kind of make the spaceship look like it has lights. And I don't think I did anything with the alien. Nope, the little aliens. Just got the safety eyes. But that's one way I just try to make it have a little more visual look to it with the little sparkles along the side. And then with Pikachu, I added one of the little mini brands on. There's this clip where you can see in one of the Pokemon videos where Pikachu loves ketchup, and so I thought I'd just kind of make a Pikachu with a ketchup, and so just kind of a fun way to use the mini brands. And then with this is another little way on a box of candy that I added some little sparkles onto the flowers, and then adding beads to the little candy. It's kind of hard to see, but there's little red beads on this one, and on this little piece of candy, got some different colored little beads to kind of look like sprinkles. And then on this one, some sprinkles that kind of go along with the color of the candy. So just different things that you can do with those accessories. And so I just want to give you an idea of something that started off so simple that kind of got out of control. And what all kinds of things did you start collecting? What is surprising you with all the stuff that you have now that just seem to keep accumulating over time just to make your projects? Let me know down below. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a great day.